Hey boarders, Beaudog here, and we are going to test out the theory that you can just grab any old candle from your mom's supply. I don't live with my mom, so I grabbed this from my own supply upstairs, but it's a used candle, not going to go too crazy. It's delicious, like a red apple cinnamon. It's actually called rich red apple sweet cinnamon cedar wood, so I was kind of close, but it's definitely going to be smelling nice and fun to work with. So just so you know, I'm not hard up for wax. I've got wax on hand, so I could totally be doing this with my regular waxes. I just wanted to try this out because I saw the post commercial for I think it's the Demon, the King, one of the wax kits. It says you can do it, so I wanted to check it out, see if it actually made sense. So here we go. Look at that! Didn't even have to break it. Came right out. I was fully committed to breaking that, but it fell out. So that's a bonus. I can maybe reuse that. Alright folks, candle wax out of a household candle. And we're going to test it out. I like to do mine in a little S-turn pattern when I'm doing my wax. Helps me put on the right amount, try not to go too much. And that's pretty much it. I don't want to cover it with more wax than that. Going to take a little bit more time to spread out, but I find that it's easier when pulling the wax off, scraping, if you don't have as much wax on the board. So far, this is actually performing similar to the other wax, although I'd say that it definitely melts a lot quicker. So this is actually going on much easier than typical wax. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's what it's doing. It's going on pretty easily. It smells nice, so that's kind of good. Right, so this is a spot where I have had some damage on the base. So on this board, I'll actually go a little bit heavier with the wax right there, just to fill in any of the spots that have kind of worn out in that repair, because that repair was a really big one. Big shark got that one. All right, for when you're waxing, I always like to push the wax towards the edge of the board, just the extra gets off of the board. I really want this wax coat on as thin as possible when I'm applying it, just because the thinner it's on, the less I gotta scrape off. And I'm lazy. I put a lot on last winter and I left it on, and I think I'm still in shock from that, because it was a lot of scraping this this season, because I went too thick for my winter wax. But what are you gonna do? On the flip side, it all held up really good, and it came out pretty good when I was done, so that was good. All right, so we're in good shape here. All right, so we'll let it sit for 20 minutes or so, and then I'll take it off. I've been doing that lately, because again, the scrape is easier. All right. Candle wax just applied. Candle wax is on and dried, so now we will begin our scrape. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I'm not liking this scrape at all. This scrape is not performing anything like regular wax. I don't know what is even going on here, and I guess I'm leaving some behind, but it's coming up in these big huge weird clumps. Texture is just off. I mean, heck, I got tons of stuff under here from below. When you normally scrape it off, it's usually nice and light and fluffy. This stuff seems to be thicker. Yeah, a bit weird. But whatever, we're gonna scrape it. We'll see how it goes. Haha. Sorry folks, gotta have the cheater. say this is at a point where I think it feels pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great either, and I'm not overly confident in it. Put a little structure back in my wax. Right before I get my final brush, I just hit it with the nylon brush a few times back and forth. Then I get out my buffing pad, and I just buff it. All right. So, general feedback so far is the scrape was really awkward. The texture was really weird. I actually don't think it's gonna perform as well just because of how it was to work with. The fact that it melted so quick to go on, and the scrape was just such a weird scrape. But right now, looking at a finished product, it doesn't look all that bad, and it seems to feel okay, although I feel like usually it's not something I've ever paid attention to, but I feel like it normally is a little bit more slippery when I get going here. But hey, we'll find out Saturday. I'll take it out for a rip, and we'll see how it does after